Hey everyone, it's Brett Hornby here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And I do this, usually 3 or 4 times throughout the year just to give a general channel update. But now here we are in December, the first weekend of December. I figure it's time for another channel update as I'll outline plans for future content in terms of sports and non-sports on my YouTube channel, and a lot of it's also contingent on sports actually happening. As you know, I've been making my various NHL update videos on the speculation that I've been hearing, and obviously I'll do that in a separate video. But hopefully, if we've been hearing that after Christmas and after the New Year, I'll finally get back to recapping games. Remember when I used to do that with my Calgary Flames and Calgary Hitmen game recaps? Well, hopefully I'll actually get to start season 3 with both of that. Hopefully, starting the middle of January to maybe early February. So those videos will come if games actually happen. Of course, any stories and trades when it comes to it, primarily will mostly be with the Calgary Flames, but if there's any significant news with the Calgary Hitmen as well, now we're technically in the off season when it comes to the CFL and the Canadian Football League and the Calgary Stampeders, and there wasn't any news other than it being cancelled and the Grey Cup fan unite, but it'd probably be fairly light with Stampeders content and CFL content until free agent and draft, which usually happens in February, and then the draft happens in May. So there's that as well. And then, of course, with the Calgary Roughnecks, well, now is usually when the new season would start, but given what's been going on with the global pandemic, and I already made a video talking about that the NLL is looking at restarting in April, and hopefully there'll be fans in attendance. So I think when it comes to Stampeders and Calgary Roughnecks content, I'm going to be very light on that for the next few months, because it's the off season, or everything's been shifted because, it's 2020 and everything's been all screwed up with COVID. So that's going to be the meat and the potatoes of my content. But there's going to obviously be a lot more content that I'm going to be producing, especially in the month of December, as I am going to be taking an extra week off from work for my winter break. So after the 17th, which is my last date I'm going to work before taking off for my winter break, and then come back January 4th. But given what's going on, a lot of my work for especially the next 6 weeks will be right here, so I'm going to be spending a lot more time at home, and who knows about how the situation is evolving. And I already mentioned to my family that I may consider not coming because of the restrictions and whatever the government says, but I may be spending even more time at home. But that being said, usually I like to try to unwind and spend more time at home winter break, but won't be any Christmas activities this year. There's going to be a lot more content that we'll be making, so I will definitely get back into my secondary content, one of my personal blogs, and attempt to comedy. I've had a much longer list of topics that I want to talk about, but obviously based on my viewers, that most people consume my sports content, mostly the Calgary Flames, so obviously I'm going to focus on that a lot more. But I will for sure get back into my personal blogs, because I'll have more time to obviously make more content, and that's my plan, that throughout my winter break, which is going to be 3 weeks, that I'll be batching out videos like one day and then do that every second day as well. And also the fact that I got a new computer. Finally, I decided it was time to take the plunge. Well, I needed to do it for a while, but economic reasons kept pushing it off. But I finally retired my HP Pavilion laptop. I think it's the something 5 that I bought back in 2009. 2009, and here we are late in 2020. Finally got a new laptop, but it only had 4 gigs of RAM. It barely runs Windows 10, so a lot of my videos that I've made has been with that old computer. I'm still using Windows Movie Maker on my new computer, which I got an MSI GF65, 16 gigs of RAM gaming laptop, and already I've had one weekend where I've made videos, and man, going to be able to make more videos much more faster which will also come in handy when I get back into talking about game recaps, especially if I make a video after work. And it'll be easier that I can get the video recorded, rendered, edited, uploaded, and still get to go to bed at a decent time. That's definitely not going to be a bad thing. And I'm still looking at getting a ring light that I want to add to making my videos so I can always rely on the sun. It's even more trickier this time of year, especially in the winter, where the sun, I face north, and south is where the sun is, so it's not as bright where my window is, and I'd like to use the sun as much as possible. My artificial lights look at best, but hopefully I'll eventually get a ring light, but given what's going on, I'm not going to be spending too much time shopping in person for that. So that's another thing that I will eventually do when it comes to making videos in the future. But I do have a new laptop, so I'm thinking that with my winter break, having more time to make videos, there's going to be a lot more videos coming in December, and hopefully maybe I'll have a luxury where I can maybe backlog some videos, have it in catalog, so I don't have to make content as much every weekend. Because the other thing that I'm hoping that I might get to do, at least backlog content, is wrapping up my Remember the Calgary series. I am up to episode 16, and I outlined 26 episodes, so I have 10 more episodes to go, but I'm thinking if or when, hopefully when, NHL and the WHL comes back, that I won't have as much time to make new episodes in the Remember the Calgary series, but if I can get that series all done by the spring, that would definitely be ideal, or have videos made that I could squeeze in, that I'll have that series done, and then obviously there might be another video series that will inspire me to do as well. Of course, I always have more trade retrospects that I plan to do for the Calgary Flames, and I also have some signing retrospects that I also want to do as I started that new playlist as well. So that's another more sports content to come up with as well. So you have to Remember the Calgary series. And then I think my Christmas treat this year, as I've kind of alluded and teased it, is I'm going to want to do some ranking videos on NHL jerseys. And I think I'll have more time to obviously do it during my winter break and make the video, and hopefully maybe I can use DaVinci Resolve and learn enough about it. Now that I have a more powerful computer that I actually can run that program as well, that I can maybe do a ranking video of the jerseys. Then I do have plans to do the current homes, current ways, and then all the reverse retros, so I think I'll do that throughout the winter break when I have more time, and that'll kind of be my gift as well. And maybe an alternate jersey list too, if I can figure out which teams' alternates are still around. There's so many variations because they have the outdoor games and the Stadium Series, Heritage Classic, Winter Classics. There's so many alternate jerseys, but I'll figure out lists that I'll make for ranking jersey videos, so I'm planning on doing that as well during the winter break. But I'm just hoping that, in the next winter here, games will come back, and I'll talk games with the Calgary Flames and Calgary Hitmen, and finally get back into my secondary content. I only have so much time to still make the videos, but in terms of recording it, but the rendering and editing and all that is now much faster, as now I've got a half-decent laptop. So, there's a lot more content to still look forward to, but the games are contingent on them actually happening. But don't worry, I won't have any problem of running out of videos to make videos on for sure. I still need to finish up my Remember the Calgary series, and I think I might think of another video series that I might start once I'm done the Remember the Calgary series that I'll announce when it comes. And who knows, this might be something that I might be thinking of now, where the Remember the Calgary series is I talk about Calgary sports teams in the past. Maybe I'll do a Remember the Calgary series 2.0, where instead of looking at sports teams in the past, maybe I'll research some landmarks from the past as well. That's a possibility, but I still want to focus mostly on my sports content. But that's basically a lot of the update at this point, is that my winter break is coming in a few weeks. I'll have a lot more time to make new videos, and there'll be a lot more content, especially in December during the winter break, to consume as well. And obviously I want to just continue to keep growing on this platform, but my sports content is still going to be what it is. It's just, give you an idea of what to look forward to basically in December, and into the winter months. So there's going to be more sports content to come, but hopefully I can still touch on my secondary content, as you know, there's only so much time in the day. So as I always close out my videos, I say if you want to follow along with this Calgary sports fan's journey, home of the Flames, Hitmen, Roughnecks, and Stampeders, I mentioned I mostly do talk Calgary sports on my YouTube channel, but I also do have personal blogs, an attempt to comedy, and I do share my experience with them on the road or at a sport event. So now if we ever get to do that again, you know, that obviously haven't been making any new videos to put in those playlists during this global pandemic, and geez, it's definitely been a year since I've had anything new to add in that. But if that all sounds like it'd be interesting to watch, to follow along with this Calgary sports fan's journey, you know what you do, just make sure you hit like, subscribe. I also have my other social media links down in the description below for other ways you can follow me. You know, get updates on the channel and future plans, and this video is just a channel update from basically December and going into the winter. Finally, we're in December 2020. This year has aged me in dog years for sure, and I mean, still, it's just been rough mentally, and trying to do as best as I can, and you know, there's just too many external factors that's been in play as well, and you know, you just never know what the future holds. And now I'm going to be back to spending even more time at home because of him only limiting myself to do any activities like going to the grocery store, going to the drugstore, and necessities only. And now that I'm fully working at home again, at least for the next 6 weeks, I'm going to need something else to occupy myself to be constructive instead of destructive as well. And thankfully, this is something that I've been doing the last couple of years. So as I say, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, and hopefully you're looking forward to some more future content in the next coming months from this channel update. So thank you.